In on the FM dial in Christian County and on your computer or smartphone. Hear these great artists and many more 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 96.5 thechill.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
You are listening to the WTIM morning show right here on WTIM, your information station. I'm Tim Zalabak, your host. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. In studio leading us off today, Dee Kruger, Director of Lincoln Land Community College in Taylorville. Dee, how have you been lately?
I've been good. How are you?
Doing super well. How has LLCC's fall semester been going?
Hey, we're going right along.
Good.
We're at week 10 right now, so we're over midterm on our downhill.
Okay.
I don't know if the students feel that way, but that's where we should be anyway.
Awesome. Well, nearing the end of fall semester here, and it's just so awesome. So we were already going to start talking about spring semester. Can we start talking about that?
I know.
Okay.
It's impossible to think about it already, but spring registration has begun. It's for classes that run January through May. For new students, the first thing they need to do is apply to the college. Simple. Go to llcc.edu, big green apply button.
Oh, yeah.
Hit if you're going to be a degree-seeking student or a high school student. And then that'll put you in a communication loop with the people you need to communicate with to get rolling and take your next step.
Awesome.
At Lincoln Land in Taylorville, the next step would be to meet with our enrollment coordinator, Tisha Miller. She gets the students all set up, get their transcripts in, all those things done before I ever see them as their student success advisor.
Cool.
So she's a big help in that
Absolutely.
too. And she goes out to the high school, so she is the person they know.
Sure. You mentioned degree seeking options there, and also high school. These dual credit options are so great for students out there. Please tell us how
They
you can get
are,
involved,
and
right
they
there.
keep growing.
Yeah.
One that we were talking about earlier was the education pathway.
Sure. Yeah.
We have that for our local high schools. I have 5 of them that I work with: Nokomis, Taylorville, Morrisonville, Edinburgh, and South Fork. And students can get in the education pathway. It is online. They do meet 2 Saturdays during the semester, but it's online, and it starts off with intro to teacher education, instructional technology tools, diversity of schools, and I'm going to forget the 4th one. But anyway, it gets them in the pipeline, and it also makes sure that's something they want to do.
Yeah.
Because in the intro to teacher ed, they actually do go and observe a classroom.
Cool.
So being on the other side of the desk is going to tell them, is this really what I want to do?
Absolutely.
And I always tell students, do that early. So if you can do that while you're in high school, great.
It's just so valuable to be able to do it that early and then figure out what you want your path to be. Those classes you just laid out right there, those are classes you'd be taking in year one of your teaching education.
Exactly.
At LLCC.
And you can get those out of the way, and then your load will be lighter when you come to Lincoln Land, or if you do transfer. That's one of the important things about dual credit. It's transferable within the state of Illinois, so there's no questions there.
Great. And you say transferable to all schools?
All public.
All public schools.
Yeah, private, I'll go maybe.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I never want to say for sure with private schools, but within the public schools, universities, we have what's called the IAI agreement, to where all the outcomes are met, no matter if you take the course at Lincoln Land in Taylorville, Springfield, or at Champaign and Urbana.
Great.
Same course, different price.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Dee Kruger, in studio, director of LLCC here in Taylorville, talking more about spring semester. Anything we did not hit for that spring registration?
I do have one new course called Literature Multigenre. It's not like our novels course where you read 5 thick novels. You read 1 novel, 1 drama, 1 short story, some poetry. So you get a little bit of everything, and then you're going to take those and look at the plot, characters, symbolism, all those things, and dissect them apart. So it's different, and I think our students will like it better than just 5 novels, maybe.
Yeah, sticking in on one and then kind of focusing on that one might be a little bit easier there. That
Right.
elective class you mentioned right there?
No, it's actually humanities.
Cool.
It fulfills a humanities requirement. So it's a brand new one for us in Taylorville, and I'm excited to offer it.
Awesome. I asked about elective classes right there, and of course you take them at 4-year universities to fill out credits, but at LLCC you're not really focused on too many fun kind of play around classes. You're looking to get your credits.
Right. Well, most of the associate degree is your general education credits, and then you focus about 8 classes on a major or 8 classes on trying things out.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Great place.
say the minute you decide where you're going and what you're going to do, we really need to make those electives count to meet the university requirements.
This makes me so happy when I hear a high schooler say they're going to LLCC or any other community college to able to have those, 6 to 8, classes where you can find out what you really want to do.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I tell them. And I always tell them to get in a course right away that's in their major, like the intro
Sure.
to teacher ed, to see if that's really what you want to do. Because when you get on the other side of the desk, you may decide this is not for me.
Sure, absolutely. Do you have off the top of your head, the percentage of students that come in undecided to LLCC?
I really don't. I can kind of say anecdotally for me,
Sure.
it's probably about 45%.
Doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's high. And we do have a lot of career survey tools that we do. They have career coaches on our main campus that will meet with our students via Teams, so they don't have to travel.
Yeah.
We try to do everything that we can to keep students here in Taylorville and provide all the services that they have at the main campus.
Sure.
But yeah, career coaches can help them if they're undecided, or help them at the end doing their resume, cover letter, and interview skills.
Great. Wow, that is all so valuable. Those things right there. I think it was in high school when I took one of those tests where it tells you what employment would be best for
Right.
you. And back then, it did not give me what I wanted to. I'm sure it's much more laid out.
Right.
these days.
We hope so. The studies have gone on and the questions have been tailored, and we hope that at least it gives you a roundabout idea. Maybe not the exact career, but I know I want to help people,
Absolutely.
or whatever it is that you come up with.
Sure. You mentioned some locations there. I knew LLCC in Springfield. They just got treated to a new building out there. Tell us
Oh
about
yeah,
this.
we actually took Menard Hall and gutted it, the front part of it.
Okay.
And we have a brand new student hub. If you get your Forward magazine in the mail, it should be hitting post office here soon if it hasn't already. But there's pictures of the new students hub. It was designed after the outreach centers.
Cool.
Because they wanted everybody to get a one-stop shop. Where at Lincoln Lane in Springfield, the way it was, you went here for this, down the hall for that,
Okay.
and over there for that. So they wanted everything in a hub, so to speak. So if you're going for financial aid, recruitment, registration, they're all in financial aid. They're all in that hub there.
Great.
And then right next to it is a brand new grants area for our WIA, our PATH grants. And what was I going to say? Oh, there's new meeting spaces
Cool.
that are kind of cool. There's a conference room and the table has no ends.
Cool.
It's not round, but it's kind of kidney shaped, but not really.
Okay.
It's kind of
Yeah,
weird. So
yeah.
nobody's at the front of the table, and
Love it.
everybody's ideas are important. And that kind of goes along with the advising offices. They're more conversational now.
Hmm.
We got the desk out from between me and the student.
Okay.
So we're actually talking face to face, and the students seem to really like it. I think my advising appointments are taking a little bit longer because they are conversational
Sure.
and they want to tell me about things in their life.
Yeah.
Which helps me, help them get to where they want to be in their career.
Sure. Yeah. Sitting down with my academic advisor through my college years, I was stressed, D. Kruger. It was a stressful time because I was thinking I was going to hear, you don't have enough credits in this area. You're going to be here for another year, things like that. There's a power dynamic there. And when you're sitting in front, of course, your academic advisor is there to help you.
Right.
Changing that, sitting right next to you, I'm so
Mhm.
glad to hear those little changes. It's going to help students advocate for themselves a little bit
Yes.
more. It's just make it all a little bit more comfortable.
I think it is.
You're saying these conversations are taking longer, so I think it's
Mhm.
working.
Yes, I think it is.
That's awesome.
And I hope to break down that barrier of, oh my God, I'm going to my academic advisor. I don't want that,
Yeah,
because it's not meant to be that way. I'm
No.
here to help you. We're just going to have a conversation and figure out where we're going.
Yeah.
That's about all it is.
And looking back, that academic advisor is one of the only people that are going to be pushing for your
Right.
success, and then there to help you out. And it's not going to be your teachers in college, and it's not everyone that's looking out for you like your academic advisor. So that's cool. You even mentioned kidney shaped tables. I'm picturing that in my head.
Right.
Nobody at the head of that table.
Right.
Everyone's ideas matter. That's
So a lot
so
of
great.
thought went into building the new student
Yeah.
services hub. A lot of research went into it. I know they visited several college campuses, so
Sure.
you kind of get an idea of what other colleges have done. Our next renovation will be coming before long. They're going to move the bookstore from the basement to
Needs it.
next to that student services hub. So it looks like a real college when you walk in, because normally when you walk in, the bookstore is right handy.
Sure.
But our bookstore was buried in the basement. So we think bringing it up to the front foyer there, it'll, get a lot of more sales maybe, and make it better for the students not having to go through this dynamic to
Yeah.
get to the bookstore.
Yeah. Getting the renovations they really need there. It was a thing at my junior college. We had a Subway. I think we had a Chick-fil-A or something set up.
Uh-huh.
Is there any restaurants over there that are setting up or inside the campus? Do you guys have any?
Yeah, we
restaurants?
do have one downstairs, and I don't want to say which one it is because I'm not sure.
Okay, that's
but
just
it's
all right.
but it's a subway related
Love
kind
it.
of. But I don't know which one it is because they have a new contract every year,
Sure.
and I don't pretend to keep up.
No,
So,
that's all right.
but
That's all
there's
right.
something to eat there, trust me, and plenty of vending machines. Great vending machines, by the way.
Sure. All right.
They carry everything you think of, from orange juice to energy drinks to coffee. You know, you
Love
got it.
Love it.
And soda, of course.
Awesome. Student Services Hub out at the Menard Hall at Springfield LLCC campus. Just so cool and really cool to learn about how that all came to be. And it's just so glad students are going to start utilizing that. Dee, we got to take ourselves a break now. But
Sure.
Dee Kruger in studio. She's director at LLCC here in Taylorville. You are listening to the WTIM Morning Show. Live stream sponsors brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first in. Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We'll be right back here on WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Could you use some extra cash in your savings account? Then you need to sign up for People's Bank and Trust Save by Spending Roundup program. I'm Jennifer Mathis from People's Bank and Trust. Simply use your debit card like you always do, and we will round up your purchases to the next dollar. The extra charge is then transferred to your savings account. There's never been an easier way to save. Call 888-PBT-1954 today to find out more. People's Bank and Trust. We put you and your savings first. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The fall season is a great time to enjoy farmer-owned Prairie Farms dairy products. Throw some baked potatoes on the grill and bring out the taste with Prairie Farms sour cream. Cut up your favorite vegetables and dip them in Prairie Farms French onion or ranch dip and make those veggie flavors come out even more. And Prairie Farms small curd, large curd, low-fat, and fat-free cottage cheese provides great nutrition as a side dish or salad. Enjoy fall with these farmer-owned Prairie Farms dairy products in your grocer or C-store dairy case.
Your Christian County Health Department at their new location, 730 North Pawnee, across from Taylorville Junior High School, has both COVID and flu vaccines available. And both high-dose and regular dose flu vaccines are in stock. You can get both the COVID and flu vaccine shots at the same time. And there are a handful of RSV vaccines available. Call the Christian County Health Department now for your appointment at 217-824-4113. That's 824-4113. Your Christian County Health Department is always working for a healthier future.
It's no secret that employers are having a difficult time hiring qualified personnel, whether full or part-time. The Miller Media Group wants to help you, the employer, to find the candidates you're looking for. That's why we've created IllinoisJobPost.com. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. This website is part of a broad radio and internet employment campaign available through the Miller Media Group. Contact your account manager or email sales@randyradio.com for more information. IllinoisJobPost.com is where we put the power of radio and the internet to attract prospective candidates.
If you're 40 and over, you'll recognize these artists by their first names: Frank, Dean, Sammy, Andy, Nat, Diana, Michael. Well, here's the big news. You can now hear Central Illinois' largest music library with over 3,500 songs on air and online at 965thechill.com. Tune in on the FM dial in Christian County and on your computer or smartphone. Hear these great artists and many more 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 965thechill.com.
Fall means attending your favorite festivals and bonfires. Taylorville Care Center can help get you back to doing what you want, like attending a local fall festival. Find out more by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
With over 8 hours a day of agriculture programming weekdays and 2 hours on Saturdays, WTIM AM, FM, and online is your ag information station. Listen by tuning in on air or online, and listen to WTIM Ag podcasts anytime.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back into WTIM, your information station. We are in the midst of our WTIM morning show with Dee Kruger, director of Lincoln Land Community College in Taylorville. Our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. Dee, let's talk a little bit about the healthcare track, the healthcare profession for students over there.
If you want a job where you can earn a sweet income with full benefits, you can take that job no matter where you move to, usually in the United States. You get a flexible schedule. You can be part of the team. You learn the latest in healthcare. Healthcare professions may be for you. So we all know about nurses. That's what people think of when they say healthcare, but there's also a lot more direct patient programs that you could look into. And they pay well. And like I said, you can take them usually from the state. I know nurses are a little different. When you move to another state, you have to take their licensure test. But like radiography, it's good for the nation.
Great.
It just depends on which program you're in. We have something, the first responder programs. We have fire science and emergency medical services, and we're also looking into adding some new things there with Homeland Security.
Wow. Okay.
So that's a buzzword, of course.
Yeah.
And that'll be really great to meld those two together. We have the EMT basic, we have the advanced EMT, and then we have paramedic. Paramedic's a tough one. Once you start it, you cannot stop, and it's 11-month long program. If you stop in the middle for whatever reason, you got to start all over again.
Okay.
That's how intense the program is. Then there's occupational therapists. Those people help people with disabilities, illness, or injuries, maybe help to relearn the skills that we use every day and don't think about.
Wow.
How to, if you had a brain injury, how do you walk? All of these things, and how do you eat after, some kind of injury? Those are just enormous things. And I've seen OTAs at work, and it's an amazing career if you're interested in that. And that one would probably have no blood.
Sure. Yeah.
But, if you're
right.
no blood, then maybe OTA would be for you.
Dealing post-op most times. Yeah.
Most times. Respiratory therapist, they are the ones that, of course, help you breathe, and they're there for studies as well as rapid response when you have a respiratory problem. In some of these programs also, you can get a sign-on bonus, a real healthy $1,000, $5,000 sign-on bonus sometimes. So that's something to look for in healthcare too. Then if you're interested in surgery, we have two programs: the surgical technologist, the one that actually hands over the tools to the doctor. And then we have the central sterile service technician who gets all those tools ready, decontaminates them, packages them, sterilizes them, and those kinds of things. And then we have sonography for babies, of course, but we have new this year. I believe this is the first year. Yes, we'll take students in the fall, I believe, for cardiovascular sonography.
Cool. Wow.
So that would be for your heart, blood vessels, those kinds of things. And that's in great demand too, is we see our baby boomers starting to get older. I'm not a baby boomer, so I'm not going to say that, but I'm real close, but not quite. But as the baby boomers age, the largest, I believe, generation in American history, they're going to need a lot of healthcare people. So we're going to need more and more people. The jobs are there. The way that you get into healthcare programs at Lincoln Land is there's what we call prerequisites. So you really need to sit down and meet with me, determine what of those prerequisites you've completed and what ones you still need to do. And then we can apply to the program and get you started. Sonography, yes, it's our most competitive program.
Okay.
And we only take 16 students.
Interesting. Oh,
so, you got to have straight A's pretty much to get into that program. Just because cardiovascular, I haven't heard how the applications are going for it, but I'm sure if someone doesn't get into sonography, they may think of that as a backup, because then they could always go get the OBGYN part of it somewhere else. So that's a thought.
Awesome.
Sometimes we have non-clinical things. If you don't want to help people, we have things like medical coding. And we also have neurodiagnostic technology. That's to determine brain waves and other disorders of the nervous system. We also have a 2-year, it's kind of health related, exercise and sports science degree that you can transfer to fitness training, sports management, even more advanced degrees like physical therapy sometimes. Whether you're interested in caring for people, performing diagnostic tests, or working as part of the healthcare team as a medical coder, there's a program in the field for you. And like I said, it's great pay, first of all. I mean, I don't know what CNAs are making in town, but I can tell you the respiratory therapists probably are making a pretty penny. And while Taylorville may not employ a lot of those people, you drive to Springfield, Decatur, and there's, Springfield especially is the medical district. You're going to find a job. And most of our students in those programs, not nursing, but the other programs, are hired before they graduate.
Wow. That's unbelievable, and it's not something you find out of pretty much any other profession that you
Right.
study throughout school. So that is awesome. T, we got less than a minute left. You mentioned so many of these positions in such high demand, and we often think of nursing when we think of healthcare and
Sure.
college. But so many people graduating high school thinking about nursing, these can be tracks for them. Possible.
Oh, definitely. And I always try to let all of my nursing students know of all the different areas because something else might interest them along the way. I mean, they may not even thought about it before.
Sure. Website, phone number, anywhere we can go to for more info.
Sure. www.llcc.edu. Our phone number is 217-786-2754. And they can contact me at dee.kruger, KRUEGER, at llcc.edu.
Easy enough. Dee, thank you so much for taking the time being here with us.
Thank you for having
Absolutely.
us.
Dee Kruger, she's the director of Lincoln Land Community College in Taylorville right here on our WTIM morning show. Thank you all for tuning in.
With SRN News, I'm Jeremy House in Washington. The presidential campaign in North Carolina is playing out in the aftermath of a devastating hurricane.